I'm going to start viewing the game. I'm going to be watching the games from my perspective to see what could have gone better in these games and why I won or lost. Okay.
Έτοιμοι.
So it's Mediterranean. It's Zeus. Sorry. It's my first time using this observer UI, and I'm really not used to it. But anyway, it's Mediterranean. It's Zeus against Thor, so I should have the advantage here on this matchup, on this map. And I have also managed to lure this starting Orok right next to my town center, like perfectly right next to it. So the start's going very good. It fits this villager very snugly into the wood line. And yeah, everything looks to be going fine right now. So I'm just doing my usual thing. I have 4 villagers on food, and then I'm putting villagers to wood. So I'm going to have like 5 on wood. I do have 34 wood, which is not really what I want. It's like I need to force drop like 6 wood, so I can have exactly enough wood for like not wasting 4 wood basically. And so I build a house after my 3rd fishing trip, and I've got 6 on wood, which is slightly higher than usual. Usually only go for 5 on wood in a 1v1 against an aggressive matchup like against Norse. It's very aggressive because that will allow you to age up faster more consistently. But then here I have this Orok near my town center, so I feel like I should be able to age up 430 with 6 on wood and get out a few more fishing ships than I would be able to otherwise. As you can see, I'm queuing villagers right now on pigs, since I don't want to get too crowded around this Orok, and I moved these 2 villagers to the pigs preemptively since this Orok is running out, and I'm just auto-queuing fishing ships on the water. So right now it's about 250, so I need to get my temple up right about now. And as you can see, I'm slightly late. I get it up about 255, so I know in my head that I need to start building the temple when the timer hits, like, before the timer hits 253 exactly. So I know this temple, it's not going to be up in time for a 430 advance, and I want to be able to advance at 430, because I kind of messed up slightly, and this temple got delayed, but I still want to advance at 430, so I have to keep that in mind, and that's why I get this extra villager here to help out building the temple, even though it's slightly inefficient, to make sure it comes up in time for me to advance. In the meantime, I've got more or less enough food to advance, so I'm sending my next villager to gold, and I'm preparing the storehouse for the gold. And then after that, I'm going to split these villagers to this wood line here. Or was it this wood line? I can't remember which wood line I go to. Okay, I end up going to this wood line. And then I put, I want to go for 5 on gold, which is a standard. And I'm up through Athena to get restoration, which is really powerful in water. So far everything's going so good. I have a smooth advance. I'm up at exactly 430. And I have 9 fishing ships. Well, actually, no, I have 10 fishing ships, which is actually a very, very high number for this map. But I'm slightly delayed on my wood. Yeah, these guys need to split up on the other side. Okay, so I get my villager here, and I'm just waiting for 100 wood. And I sort of clicked in the wrong spot there. I should have moved my villager up here, and then I would get this perfect spot right on top of this fish. But this stock is a bit out of place, slightly out of place. And I've split my my villagers on the 2 wood lines. I'm getting hand axe, I believe. Yep, I'm getting hand axe over here, which will give me those better wood gather rates, so I can constantly be auto-queuing trireme. And then right now, Hagrid, he ages up to the classical age at about 420, so I know he's going to be able to get ships out earlier than me. And another thing is I don't want him to forest fire my wood line. He's Thor, so it's not like he's Oven. He doesn't have the ravens. So if I bolt his Valkyrie, which I'm moving my scout right now to see this Valkyrie, and I bolt it to make sure that he doesn't come in here and harass my eco. I bolt it way earlier than I have to make sure he doesn't get the scouting in and he doesn't get the forest fire in, because both will be quite disruptive. And now that I'm advanced, I'm auto queuing triremes from both of my docks. Yeah, both of my docks. But he has a slight lead in ships because he's advanced earlier, so I need to be careful, and I don't want to be too overzealous in picking a fight with him. I need to garrison my fishing ships if necessary. So we're doing that right now. Here in Mega House. Wasn't really housed because I got that house up in time. And then these two triremes should sort of be able to deal with these two longboats just fine. This trireme is under a bit of 2v1 pressure, but then this other trireme is bumping out. So it should be... We were like pretty even in ship numbers actually. Because I have the defender's advantage, even though Hagrid advanced earlier, I know I would be kind of even in ship numbers since my docks were closer to where the fighting were, but actually he had a bit of idle dock time. So we're actually even in fishing numbers, in ship numbers already. So this is good for me. In the meantime, I'm queuing villagers on both wood and gold, so I can aim to get bowsaw and pickaxe eventually, and then also get a third dock at some point, so I can queue triremes really hard to win water if necessary. And right now, I'm focusing most of my effort on microing these ships. So as you can see, I'm moving back, getting in range of this dock fire, arrow fire, just like, that's where most of my attention is going. It's making sure I micro the ships really, really well. And then over here, I bring this Minotaur down. I know that he built the temple on the other side, so I felt like maybe I could get in some harass, but then I kind of just forget about the Minotaur, which is a bit of a mistake. If I moved him in here, I could be really annoying on his gold mine since he didn't have the Hersers. But then again, I didn't actually know where his Hersers were. I just know that he built the temple on this side, so expected this side to be open and vulnerable. That's why I sent the Minotaur down here. But then again, most of my efforts are just focused on microing water and making sure that I do good in this water fight. So here, he backs off, so I don't need these fishing ships to be stuck in my dock anymore. I'll let them out so I can continue fishing. And then this Minotaur, he finds a house there, so the Minotaur picks up the house, which is good. And then right now, the first confrontation happens. If you just look at ship numbers, it looks like I have a bit of an edge. I think, yeah, I have 11 fishing ships. I have 11 triremes to his 9 longboats. So I definitely have an edge in this fight. And besides, he's getting pulled back by these ships retreating, so... Like, yeah, so he's also not microing that well. Like, he's getting pulled here by these ships. And then right now, I just have the ship numbers, so I know I'm winning this fight. And he has to retreat, and it's an advantageous trade for me. So now I know I definitely have more ships than him. There's no way he has more ships than me, because we've both been putting all our resources into ships. But then I've got the better trades, so that's why I have more ships than him. So I'm moving on. I'm being very aggressive right now, because after that trade, I know I have the advantage in ship numbers. Just fixing my eco here. Let's play fast a bit. I'm not sure why I didn't move in there. I definitely have the advantage, but then still, I have the advantage because he's not going to be able to make another dock to produce out from. And then right now, we're having another ship battle. Again, I have 14 ships, and looking at him, he's got, how many? He's got 10 ships only, so again, this advantage, it continues to carry on. I can continue to pick this fight in any time, and it will always be good for me, unless I'm taking dock fire, because I have the ship numbers advantage, and I'm just capitalizing on it. So Mediterranean, it's a very volatile map. If you get that small ship advantage, it snowballs a lot. And here I'm losing my Minotaur, but then the Minotaur is of little significance compared to the ship battle, which I'm coming out really far ahead on. So I know that I'm winning this battle because I just have so many more ships than him. So I don't actually have to pay attention to micro now because I'm just winning this battle by a lot. Okay, so now basically when I see this, I know that I've won water. So right now I'm thinking, what do I do now I won water? Like so far it's been good play by me, I think. And what I want to do is capitalize on winning water. So I'm going to start expanding water. I'm starting to get lots of fishing ships, and I'm going to get the Persine upgrade. And I'm just going to make sure that he's not fishing while I've won water. And also, yeah. So that's sort of what I'm doing right now. Here he gets a good forest fire raid in. He picks off this villager. Oh, but he could have finished off that villager, but then I guess he didn't notice how low it was. And also, yeah, it's really disruptive to my wood gathering. Like all these villagers had like so much idle time from the forest fire. Right now, here's the thing. I don't actually know what he's doing right now. He could be grabbing another town center. He could be he could be trying to make a comeback with water, or he could be trying to like go for a land rush on me. I really don't know what he's doing. And the score, it's not a good read either because it's sort of like the water fight kind of messed the score up, so I can't really read the score to see what he's doing. So I really have no clue what he's doing. And I continue to just like do a fish boom on water. And I prepare a little bit of land army, but not that much, just to make sure that a land rush doesn't beat me here. So I'm preparing these military buildings. I have the hoplites and the toxotos. So I'm preparing this to make sure the land rush doesn't beat me. And actually, I have too many on gold right now, so here I start to miss macroing a little bit. But then at this point in the game, I'm pretty confident. Since I've won water, I feel like I've got a massive advantage, which I actually do. And it'll be quite difficult for me to lose this game. So that's what I'm thinking right now at this point. I'm just going around, trying to pick off his fishing chips, making sure he doesn't start fishing. And I go here and grab this town center, which is a good move if he goes for his own land boom himself. And also, I think this 2 town center plays all right in general, because since I have so much pop on water, I also want a bit more, like I want all this population here. I want a bit higher pop limit, so it's important to grab this town center. And for some reason, these villagers, they're not. Okay, I fixed that now, but they weren't building it just now. And then right now, he makes a comeback on water. So right now I see this, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I need to. I only got 10 chips, and he's got like 17 or something. So, and over here, I'm grabbing this other town center, which I think it was a mistake looking back in hindsight. This is too greedy, and this is what allowed him to really come back on water. The fact that I went for 3 town centers. I only had 3 docks, so I invested all of these resources into my economy. And then I invested a bit more on land army than he has, so I don't have the resources to actually fight back on water right now. And I actually don't have enough docks to fight back on water. I need more docks than this. And then over here, I retreat all my tribes into a corner, which is another mistake. So right here, there's 15, no, there's 17 longboats against 10 triremes. So I shouldn't be fighting this at all, not even under the cover of my dock. I should be trying to run squares around this water. Like, just be running around and not fighting at all, because there's no way that these triremes will take out, like, more than 3 longboats. So I should be just trying to keep these alive for as long as possible. I'm re-queuing triremes on water, so this says I'm still trying to fight back on water. But like this, it's not going to go well. I need to keep these triremes alive as much as possible, and this is not how you do it. So this is a huge mistake by me, and I'm going to lose all these triremes right now. And then also, I'm moving this army here, seeing that he has invested all these resources in water. I want to move around on land and make sure he can't just roam around freely on this slide, and make sure I pick off some houses and stuff. So I'm moving these Jasons and these Toxotos over. But then I moved them a bit too close to the shoreline, and then they're getting picked off right now. So that was a bit of a panic by me. A bit of a panic move. Yeah. And I'm losing all these ships now, so it's really not good for me. And then it's actually really hard to come back on water because he's got more docks than I do. He can outproduce me. So at this point, in this situation, I should have just gave up on water. I'm still making triremes out of all 3 docks, but there's like after losing this, it's just really hard to come back on water. So this is really bad. Like this is really bad play by me. Continuing to make the triremes here and not keeping these 10 triremes alive. That was a really big mistake by me. Okay. So right now, I've got a lot of villagers on wood, and I've got a pretty big bank of wood. It's more than I can actually spend on making triremes right now. And also, since I'm losing water, I'm going to be knocked off all these fish very, very soon. Which means that I'm going to need another food source. Which means I need to start making farms. I need to start gathering these deer. But then, in the heat of the game, I didn't realize that. And therefore, here I started running out of food. Like, if we just look, and then right here, my economy is very imbalanced. I've got way too much wood, and I don't have enough other resources. I've got 30 villagers on wood with bow saw. And that bow saw makes it gather incredibly fast. So I'm just getting more and more wood, and then I'm not really doing anything with it. I should have been making farms. I should have been side building more. And I'm just gathering up all this wood. I'm making a bunch of triremes in my dock, but it's not close to enough to fight back on water. It's not close to enough. Okay, so now I pop out my triremes from the dock. And then this little bit of aggression with these hoplites and adjacent doesn't work. Because there's just not enough units. I was really sending a few more units on the way, but then like they got picked off by all the longboats because of the bad pathing by me, and then I walked them way too close to the water. So right now I'm fighting back on water, but then notice, yeah, he's got more docks than I do, and he's not producing me. He's got more longboats. And if I remember correctly, this game, he was also getting armory ups around this point. I don't see the armory upgrades yet. But he also had armory ups very, very early, I remember this game, and that really contributed to him just being able to win the water. And I did not notice he had armory upgrades in the boats. So right here, I'm losing water again, and then he's actually overtaken me in score. So this is quite a turnaround. It's quite a turnaround for him. I have the Odysseus down here. It's harassing his dwarves a little bit, but again, I just don't have enough units. Actually, like, I was sort of just like sloppy in my decision making when it came to coming back on the water. And then right now he's getting back into the game. He's won the water. He's getting all this water eco, and then now he's grabbing this town center. I'm actually only on like something like 80 population because I'm losing all of this water, and I don't actually have the resources to make what I want. Like, my food eco is utter crap right now, and I have no farms to support it. I'm just making farms now, but it's like, I got so much wood, and I just can't do it. So here I start expanding on land, seeing that I lost water. I try to forward build a bit. I make some military buildings. I can't really afford to make hoplites right now with my 3 town centers and lost water, no farming eco. And it just starts to become really sloppy by me. I'm trying to side build here as well to make sure you can't miss the gold mine. So I'm side building on both sides. My goal right now is to do a bit of a gold starve on land, hopefully, now that I lost water. Yeah, and then this dock never finishes. Okay, so I start farming now, but it's a bit late. I already had a lot of idle TC time. So it's like, I built the 3 town centers, but it's kind of a useless investment. Here I'm starting to go aggressive on this gold mine, but then he's got units coming here, and then I just wasn't fast enough to start this land attack. It doesn't work out. Yeah, and I'm trying to fight back on water again. I've got 10 triremes. I'm still trying to fight back on water, but right at this point, he's got all the copper armory upgrades. So he's getting so many armory upgrades. I didn't notice it. And then he comes back on water again with burning pitch, and it's just like incredibly hard for me to be able to win water at this point. So I should have just focused entirely on land. Right here, I lose all my boats again, and then at this point I decide to screw it. Just give up water. I shouldn't have been fighting under the dock fire here, or the defenders. I should have just backed off and continued to make more triremes and stuff, but then that didn't go well, and now I'm actually quite considerably behind the score, and I have loads of resources, but then I forgot my armory. It's only coming up now, so I wasn't able to go heroic. I have low population. Yeah, it's not going well for me. I need to really focus and spend all these resources into doing as much of a land attack as I can. Meanwhile, as you can see, Hagrid, he's actually spending his resources really well. He's keeping it very low. He's investing it constantly and just improving his situation. While right now, I've lost the right side of the map, so I won't be able to do a gold starve. Maybe I could with Underworld. But it's sort of getting really iffy at this point. So right now, he's up through heroic through Braggy. And I know that Ragnarok is coming, and it's going to be really hard for me to defend against Ragnarok. Like defending it while you're behind is just absolutely, it's just so difficult. I'm just trying to put as much pressure on him as I can and kill as many villagers, but I just don't have the army at the moment. Yeah, I'm just trying to side build, maybe get a gold starve in, but it's not going well. I don't have this scouted. He's managed to wall this up. He's managed to secure this gold mine. He's cleared out all my buildings here. He's actually doing well here. I'm trying to set up the Protector Bullet Siege and make some walls for my Toxitates, but then I'm just so behind at this point. If you look at his armory upgrades, wow, he's already got 2 iron upgrades. It's really, really huge. And he's getting all this eco from water as well. He's got no gold problems since he managed to secure the mine on this side. And at this point, I should have made a Pegasus and then had the Underworld Passage going here. Like, if I had that happen, then maybe I could have had a chance to get back into the game. But I was even winning on this side. So it was tricky. And this fighting just continues to carry on. I mythic through Hephaestus. I think Hera would have been better here. I didn't know how close he was to Mythic, but I should have been able to guess that he's pretty close since he had all this water for all the fish, the free mana here, so he had enough wood and gold. I mean, enough food and gold to be able to go Mythic without problems. So I should have taken Hera because that was a pretty urgent situation. But then again, I don't recognize it. That's another mistake I made. So the early game, like the first 8 minutes, I was playing good and I was winning, but it started going downhill after I grabbed this third town center. And then I responded badly to his little comeback on water. Okay. So right now, if you look at the score difference, he's pretty much going Mythic, so I think it's pretty much over at this point. So I'm just going to go up, put it on play pad. Actually, I feel that the sound is actually a little bit loud. I'm going to turn down the sound a little bit. Oh dear, that looks like it messed up my game. Oh boy. That's the one really ugly looking UI. Yeah, anyway, Hagrid won that game with Ragnarok. Since my UI is messed up, I'm not going to finish watching it since it messed up my UI. I didn't know I was going to do that. Okay, so next game.